Welcome to The Explainer. So, that Week 9 comparative analysis essay, yeah, it might look a little intimidating, but trust me, you're in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to crack this thing wide open, break it down step by step, and turn all that confusion into a super clear, actionable plan.
Okay, let's start with the million-dollar question, right? How in the world do you make two totally different articles talk to each other? Well, think of yourself as the host of a talk show. You're the moderator, and you're creating a conversation that's going to uncover something totally new. It's a really cool skill, and we're about to break down exactly how you do it. So here's our game plan for today. First, we're going to deconstruct the prompt itself, understand the mission. Then, we'll go on a hunt to find that hidden connection between the articles. After that, we'll use it to craft a killer thesis, build a really solid argument, and finally, we'll run through the checklist to make sure you nail all the requirements.
All right, first up, deconstructing the prompt. Before you even think about writing a single word, you have to be absolutely crystal clear on what your mission is. So let's dive in and break it down.
Okay, this is so important. This is not a book report. You're not just summarizing what one author said and then what the other author said. No, you are the analyst here. You're creating your own brand new original argument about how these two texts relate. Your unique insight. That's the star of the show.
And here are your two conversation partners. On one hand, you've got Christine Schuchler talking all about the financial nightmare of affording college. And on the other, you have Allison Pugh exploring how AI is changing our personal relationships. They seem like they're from different planets, right? Well, that's where the real challenge, and honestly, the fun begins.
That key phrase, in conversation, isn't just some fancy academic term. It literally means you need to imagine what Schuchler and Pugh would actually say to each other if they were in a room together. Where would their ideas clash? Where would they nod in agreement? It's by creating that dialogue that you start to uncover those deeper societal issues the prompt is really after.
Okay, so once you get that, it flows right into step 2, finding the connection. This is where you get to put on your detective hat. Your job here is to find that hidden thread. The one thing that connects an article about college debt with an article about AI and relationships. Maybe they're both about the anxieties of modern life. Or maybe they're both about how unseen forces, whether economic or technological, shape our most personal choices. Finding that shared question is the bedrock of your entire essay. And once you've found that connection, you are ready for step 3, crafting your thesis. You got to think of your thesis statement like a GPS for your reader. It's that one single, powerful sentence that tells them exactly where this essay is going and why it's worth the trip.
It's actually a pretty simple 3-step recipe. First, you just identify that shared theme we talked about. Let's say it's modern anxieties. Second, turn that into a specific question, something like, how does Schuchler and Pugh show us the different ways money and technology create anxiety today? And third, you answer that question, and boom, that answer is your thesis.
Now that you have that strong thesis statement in hand, we move on to the fun part. Step 4, building your argument. This is where you get to prove your point, piece by piece, paragraph by paragraph. Listen, this is totally non-negotiable. Any big claim you make has to be backed up with cold, hard evidence from the texts. No evidence, no argument. It's really that simple. You have to be pulling specific quotes and examples from both Schuchler and Pugh. So you might pull a specific quote from Schuchler where she talks about the emotional toll of tuition costs. You'd use that to show her point about how financial barriers create a very real kind of social pressure.
And then you pivot. You bring in Pugh. You could use an example from our article to show this other kind of pressure, one that's maybe less about dollars and cents and more about feeling authentic in a digital world. See? Now your sources are actually interacting with each other, and it's all being orchestrated by you.
A really great essay doesn't just look for similarities. It digs into the tension. As you're writing, you should be constantly asking yourself these questions. Where would Pugh push back on Schuchler's ideas? Do they just value different things? Getting into these contrasts and disagreements is what will give your analysis some serious depth.
All right, home stretch. Let's nail the landing with step 5, mastering the requirements. Because all your brilliant ideas need to be presented in the right package to get the credit they absolutely deserve.
First thing, the length. We're talking 4 to 5 full pages, double-spaced. And that's not just a random number. It gives you the room you need to really develop your argument and explore the evidence without rushing. So make sure you hit that target.
Okay, everybody lean in for this one. This rule is crucial. No outside research. For this paper, your entire universe is made up of the Schuchler and Pugh articles, and that's it. Stick to the sources.
And of course, you know the drill. Use MLA format, have a separate works cited page, and for the love of all that is good, proofread your work.
Your conclusion. This is your final mic drop moment. Please don't just restate your thesis. This is your chance to explain why this conversation you've created actually matters. So what? By putting these two texts together, what new thing have we learned about student debt or technology or just being an anxious human in the 21st century? Answer that so what question.
Because that's the real goal here. This assignment isn't just some academic hurdle to clear. It's a chance for you to make a real discovery. By connecting these two articles that seem so far apart, you have the power to reveal a surprising, insightful, and totally original conversation. Now go find it.